I'm Jim Deibert from Colby, Kansas. I'm a custom harvester. I've been doing this for 54 years. I was always into machinery. Some kids are into sports. Sports, it's not my game, but machinery was. When I was a senior in high school, my dad had bought a C2 gleaner with a 6-row corn head and a 20-foot header. Well, he let me take his combine and go cut for one of our neighbors. Then I went to college and got involved in the custom harvesting deal, and I enjoyed it. And the guy says, "You want to go summer harvest?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess I would." Another cutter named DeLoss Ramsey needed some help. He had combine driver quit or something, and he come to Paul and said, "Have you got an extra guy that you could loan me?" Paul knew I liked John Deere's, and he said, "Take him, he'll be fine." And I went over there and I really liked it. And Ramsey was a kind of a guy, he was a rough, tough old man. He had worked hard his whole life, and but he was very wise, very wise. He taught me a lot, and to this day, if you asked me, I would tell you that he gave me a master's degree in harvesting. We grew from 1 to 2, and in 1976, I was 26 years old, and I would go on harvest with 2 combines and headers and go to Texas, and I never took any of Ramsey's jobs. The customers that I have now, most of them I've had for over 30 years. And it's, in my people in Texas, I started with 2 jobs down there and 2 brothers ever since 1982. And I've worked with them ever since. We are family. I mean, I've watched their kids grow up. They've watched mine grow up. Kirby and his sister Keely, each year when we pull into Texas, into their farm, you turn off the highway and you go 1.5 miles. They come up there either in their little Jeep or a 4-wheeler and give us a escort into the farm. The people in Oklahoma that I cut for, I've cut for them since 1991. The farmers here, Don Woofter, I've cut for him now for probably 52 years, my South Dakota run. I've worked there for 31 years, I think. North Dakota, I've cut all over up there. I have been cutting on the same farm now for 54 years. Every one of these, I feel like I'm home again. I've been having students come here through the Ohio program since 1990, but I had 1 boy the first year. It's adventure for the kids from England and Ireland. They grow up on a farm from 250 to 400 acres, a lot of them. And the first field that we cut in Texas is bigger than their farm. But they come here to see the great American wheat harvest. I've got students that are either managing farms or working on big farms, and I've got 1 boy that's head of sales for Fendt in England. And I'm so happy to see that. I've got another boy that is the head of MacDon in England and in Europe. I'm just happy to see that they took what I taught them and have moved on with it. This is a stepping stone, I call it, to go on to something bigger and better. I'm not out to make a combiner for life with them. It's not a career choice, it's to teach you. We live like a family. I tell a lot of my crews that this harvest deal is like going to the Army. You know, you eat together, you work together, and you sleep in the same place. You know, I said, we're like the Army, only nobody shoots at you. Unless you start messing with some farmer's daughter. You know, then maybe all is going out the window. We have like our own little mobile home park in Texas on the farm. So we got 4 bunks and then a shower and a toilet in each end of the trailer and a living quarters in the middle. And then we have a cook trailer. The whole front end of it has 2 slides. We can feed 16 people at once inside a trailer house. And then in the middle of it is a cooking facility with refrigerators and stuff. And then in the back is a living quarters for the cook. And we're pretty proud of that. We kind of dreamed that up on our own and took it to the company and had them make us one.
I actually was in the harvester business, selling the combines to harvesters. One of those customers said, "You really need to go talk to Jim Deibert," and he is really one of the cream of the crop. He's been in it longer than we have, and he knows the business inside and out, and he's looking for a dealer.
After we got to talking about dealing and being a dealer, he asked me, what do you expect from a John Deere dealer? And I told him that I expect you to have parts and service, but the big thing I wanted him to have was a header on hand, because if one of my guys wrecked a header, I wanted to get that combine back to rolling. Him and I have a relationship as harvester and as a implement dealer that's not looked on as the way to do business from the corporate level. We're brothers, not dealer harvester. I've watched his kids grow, he's watched mine grow, and just the different things that we go through in our life struggles.
His machinery, it may have hours on it, but it's probably the first to go out. Of any of our machines we trade for every year, they look for Jim Deibert's equipment.
This auction deal is bittersweet. It's bitter to see all this stuff that's going to be gone, but it's sweet looking back on all the memories. And it's time for me to move on. My wife and I can do some summer things now that we've never been able to do, and because harvest comes first.